Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my August show and tell. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This is a monthly video where I like to sort of recap the month, talk about the things I've been loving, using, enjoying. Sometimes it's on topic for the channel, as in tarot and books and all kinds of things that are related, but oftentimes it's not. So if you just want to hear more about lots of things, hang out with me here. I'm going to get right into it. Let's start off with memories. So our youngest turned 29 this month, which was definitely a moment for sure. I'm starting to feel like, I don't know, they grow up really fast. They're all adults. They seem like adults. It's a very different thing. But every time one of them has a birthday now, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like you guys are growing up so fast. And it's kind of crazy to see, but we had a really nice time. We all got together and had some lovely dinner and we made plans for future things we want to do. And it was just a really, really lovely time. Other memories from August. Peggy and I have been swimming our way through the heat wave because we're incredibly stubborn about the fact that we never hooked up our air conditioner this year. It started off kind of cool this summer and then we got kind of stubborn and just like decided to stick it out. But then we keep having these really warm days and I'm like, did we make a mistake? But honestly, the air conditioner gets hooked up like back there and it's loud. So I have to turn it off when I film anyways. Like right now I have the windows open and a fan going and it's not too warm today, but that's been a thing. So we've been spending a lot of time at the pool. We go most evenings actually, which has been amazing. We're both super hooked on, it's like a nighttime ritual now. And it's been really good for just general well-being, mental health, all that kind of stuff. It's felt really good to have that like water time to look forward to. So that's still kind of sustaining its way as a really exciting memory for me for the month. Also, our eldest, John, Peggy and I got together and we did this like outdoor, what would I call it? I guess you could call it, it's not an escape room type game, but I don't know how to describe it. I'll describe it, not worry about what it's called, but it was a game by a company called Clued Up, and what happens is on a particular date, like you buy tickets, or a ticket for your team, basically, and on that day, you go to a specific geographical location, in our case, it was downtown Vancouver, and you have an app on your phone, and a story kicks off, and you go through the story, and you have to walk around to different locations, and find clues, and solve problems. You know what it felt like? It felt a little bit like literally physically being in a role-playing game briefly, like an MMO, like World of Warcraft or something, but you're the one looking for all the quest markers and like fetching things for people like in real time. But actually it was all digital. It was really, really fun, but it was an Alice themed game. So it was Alice in Wonderland themed, and they encouraged people to dress up and then take pictures and submit them for prizes, which we did not dress up, but we saw so many incredible costumes, and it was this really cool experience to go downtown and like see all of these people everywhere dressed up like Alice in Wonderland characters and just clearly having a good time. Because when you buy a ticket, it's for like a team of up to 6. So you'd see families, groups of friends, young, old, everything in between. And it was this bizarre kind of thing to be in such a big, busy public place, like the heart of downtown Vancouver, Robson Square is where it sort of kicked off, and to see crowds of people all doing the same thing, but at different stages. And it was like, it was so much fun, and definitely would be something I would consider doing again in the future. It was just a really unique experience and certainly memorable from August. But I have to say the most exciting thing to happen in August was that I launched my intuitive tarot reading course on my website. You guys, I keep trying to describe like what a big deal it is to me, and I don't think I'm conveying it properly, but I am really, 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 really pleased that it is out in the world now and can exist. It was a long time coming, and I keep talking about this piece of it because I think that the thing I have a hard time explaining is how much of a like psychological roller coaster, I suppose, like a good one, but like how many twists and turns I had to take myself through in a way to take something like a reading style that I've been doing for years and years and try to create a system around it so that I could teach it to other people. It was a whole experience, and I'm so grateful for it. And most of all, I'm just incredibly grateful for all the wonderful feedback I've been getting so far on the course. It's only been out a short time, and I've heard just tons of feedback, and I really, really appreciate those of you who have reached out to tell me what your experience has been like. It is incredibly validating to know that what I had kind of imagined in my head and dreamed of for this course is actually landing, and I'm over the moon. I can't even begin. My words just get stuck. I'm so grateful, and also so terribly, terribly pleased that it's conveying, because again, it's taking something kind of non-cerebral and trying to create cerebral processes around it. And I had a lot of, not insecure, well, yeah, I guess kind of insecurity, a lot of like imposter syndrome slash nerve slash worry about like, are y'all gonna even like it? Like I knew what it was in my head, and it just, I wanted it to end up being received the way that I had hoped, and it looks like it is, and I'm very, very pleased. So I'm seeing a lot of the people that are signing up for the course joining up with the Facebook group, which is optional but gives people a space to ask questions, collaborate with one another on the lessons, maybe buddy up and practice different techniques on each other, that sort of thing. So I'm excited that we have that component to the course too, and I'm going to shut up about it eventually, I swear, but I'm just very excited about it and so glad that it has hit the way that I was hoping to hit. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to try to stop. I'm going to rein it in. But I'm very excited and very grateful. And yeah, I'm just very excited and pleased. So thank you all so, so much for the support and the kind words and the feedback. It's meant more than you know. So thank you for that so much. So as far as YouTube things, I was very wrapped up in doing my own projects this month. I didn't get a chance to watch nearly as much YouTube as I normally watch. So I'm actually dreadfully behind right now on a lot of the watch list that I have that I like to, people's content that I like to watch. So if I've been a little quiet and you're used to seeing me pop up now and then, that's probably why. But I have to say that the getting together, first of all, my hashtag top 10 intuitive tarot decks, hashtag top 10 intuitive tarot decks, that's a mouthful. That tag was a lot of fun to create. I realized after I put that video out that probably top 10 might have been a bit too much. Like maybe top 3 would have been good. But I really enjoyed sharing my favorites, my top 10. And so if you do decide to do a VR, it doesn't have to be 10. It doesn't have to be 10. But like, I would love to see what decks work for other people. A couple of you have made VRs and I appreciate that so much. I've got them on my list. I will definitely be watching if I haven't watched already. But it's really fun to see those kinds of things from other people. But in any case, it doesn't have to be 10. I realized that was maybe a little excessive, but whatever. I had fun with it. That was the point. So that was a lot of fun. But the biggest highlight, I would say, YouTube-wise of August was getting together with Danny and Dustin for our 3 Fat Readers live stream. We did a double header, 2 3 Fat Readers approved decks. So that was a ton of fun. We got together, had our normal friend hangout, chit chat kind of thing with you all. If you don't know, 3 Fat Readers is a really fun collab channel with myself, Danny of Danny Mystic, and Dustin of Modern Metaphysicae. And we get together, we have very different tastes, and it's very exciting when we can actually agree on a deck. That's always really fun. But we really enjoy getting together about once a month, we get together once a month to share these streams with you, and they are the highlight, I think, of all of our months. So it's really fun to do that. But most excitingly, I would say this month was this aha moment, this epiphany, this moment of seeing something different. One of our 3 Fat Readers approved decks is the Tildwick Tarot. And while I was in the stream, you can actually go watch the stream and you'll see the moment when it happens. I was looking at my Tildwick Tarot, and I happened to notice in the background a scene from the unicorn tapestries. And if I can't even put into words how excited I was, because I geek out on the unicorn tapestries. It's a, anyway, let me see if I can get it to show up on camera for you. There's the scene right there. It's behind. It's in the 4 of Cups. For some reason, I keep thinking 6 of Cups, but it's in the 4 of Cups. And you can see it in the background. There is this unicorn tapestries image. And this is so brilliant because one of the things about the 4 of Cups is you're not always seeing what's right in front of you, right? And this card has been right in front of me since I bought this deck. I don't know how long ago now. And I've never seen it before. But then once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it just makes me want to flip through these cards and see what else I've been missing in the wallpaper and in the little details that I feel like just kind of sink into the background. This is an incredible deck. Anyways, you can hear us gush, me, Danny, and Dustin, I'll gush more about this deck in that stream. But that was such a cool moment to have, like, live on camera, you know what I mean? Like, it was just, I was like, oh, everybody wait, look! And I got very excited, so that was super fun. This next section is usually where I like to show off anything magical, crystals, herbs, candles, anything like that I've come in to sort of support my practice. And I have a bag of items that I have literally tucked away waiting for this video. And I think I got them like at the beginning of the month, or was it like late last month? No, it was the beginning of the month. So I guess this is another memory. Peggy and I went to a local gem show. It was not the gem show we normally go to, and so the vendors were different. I will say I prefer the one we normally go to, which is a bit bigger and more focused on sort of the minerals and the stones. This was a lot more like jewelry and items and It felt more retail-y than the ones we normally go to, but I did get a few treasures and I want to share them with you. Okay, the first little item that I got is this super adorable, okay, I'm gonna mess this up. I always mix up rhodonite and rhodochrosite. I think this is rhodonite. Please correct me in the comments down below if I'm wrong, but it's a little mushroom. Look at this little baby. Isn't it the cutest little thing? It's so adorable. It's just got this like fun sort of earthy, fairy tale-y kind of vibe. I love it. It's so cute. They had tons of little mushrooms and carved shapes. I was definitely, like I said, it was that kind of a gem show, so I was really suckered in by this little, it's adorable. I love it. And I don't have any mushroom shapes in my collection. The next thing I got was I picked out a proper quartz crystal sphere. So I do have a couple of larger selenite spheres, and I have a quite large obsidian sphere with a little bit of gold sheen in it that I will often use for scrying, but I really wanted a clear quartz sphere to try my hand at crystal scrying into something that is crystal, so not glass and not like opalite or anything like that, but also is fairly clear. And I found one that I really, really love. So it's on a little candle holder type stand. So I'm going to show it to you now. It is really, really beautiful. I don't know, it's going to be really reflective because of course you can probably see my, I don't know what you can see, my window and all kinds of stuff, but there it is with just hopefully mostly my hand behind it, but it's quite clear. And I love that it's on this like clear stand. It was actually on this, it's just like a dollar store glass candle holder, but it's such a beautiful little holder for this. So I got this sphere and I hope to do some scrying work with it. I like that I can gaze into it, and it's got this sort of point at which there's like, I don't think I can show it, but there's kind of a flat plane in it. Let's see if I can get it to glimpse. Oh, I'm not going to be, oh, maybe you can see it right there. There's like a line, a horizontal line there. That is like there's like a plane. It's almost like a sheet of ice. It's hard to describe, but there is a little rainbow in this somewhere. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it now, but it's really pretty. So I was really pleased with that. Oh, I just spotted the rainbow again. It's like I just have to get it just right. Anyway, I really like it. So I'm very pleased to have that little guy. Plus, I like spheres and palm stones in general for holding and meditating. So I love this one. But I have to say, this is where you find out what a dork I am and just how much of a 5-year-old on the inside I am most of the time. I had to get this. I could not pass it up. I have a little rose quartz Hello Kitty. Okay, look, I have a weakness where she's concerned. Look at her little bow. Like, she's just carved. They said something about I don't know about these vendors. I don't know. But they said something about this little bit in her ear. I don't know what they said that was, and I was like, I don't know, but I just think she's cute. So she's adorable. I love rose quartz. It was my first crystal love, and having a little rose quartz Hello Kitty is just, it's perfect. And this would be a really great stone for me for just connecting to inner child energy and like really trying to tap in. So I love her. Those are my little crystal babies. Okay, it's time for me to talk about my favorite makeup-y, nail polish-y kind of things from the month. So, as usual, I like to give a little disclaimer because I know not everybody's into this world, but I love this stuff. So, I have quite a few things to share, but I'll try to be quick. Anyways, you can skip ahead in the timestamps if you want to skip this section, but I'm here for it and I'm about to gush. So, come along with me for the ride if you'd like. I have some eyeshadow things, some nail polish things. Let's start with eyeshadow, I guess. So there were 3 palettes that I used in August. One of these I'm wearing right now. Technically, it's September when I'm filming this, but I'm going to count it towards August because I used it twice. Anyway, getting to the point. So the first palette that I used a bunch this month is the Kalaidos Sci-Fi Green palette. I love this so much. I'm pretty sure you cannot get this palette anymore, but these are the shades. So it's got this kind of like mustardy yellow and then these really pretty metallic greens, some darker greens, and a really, really good black. In fact, I've never really appreciated a good black because black terrifies me, but for just deepening up an outer corner using the tiniest amount, that black is amazing. It's really potent, so you need the tiniest amount, but it's really smooth. It doesn't get patchy. It's nice. So this was fun. I think I wore a green look. Now I'm not going to be able to remember. I might have been wearing this during my hot takes in August. I can't remember when, but it came out real good. So I really, really enjoyed playing with that. I also had made a couple of looks, or just one look, maybe just one look, with the Natasha Denona Mini Nude palette. So this is a really fun one. It's got pretty neutral colors, but it leans a little warm. I guess what I like is this kind of camely matte here and this burgundy brown. I don't know how else to describe it. And this shade is so unique. Let me swatch it because I can't help myself. I guess it's not, it's kind of like a reddish toned duochromy kind of bronze. I don't know how to describe it. It's a really unique shade. It's definitely, I guess when you swatch it, it's more like it's just a really pretty, like reflective bronze color, I guess. It's really pretty. Like, see how shiny it is? That was really fun. So I really enjoyed working with that. And this is an oldie but a goodie. You can't get this anymore. I'm very sorry. I wish I'd have bought 2,500 of them. Well, maybe not that many. I wish I'd have bought like more shades than this one, but this shade is fantastic. These are Milk Makeup's eye pigments. They came out and then they disappeared. This is a liquid, or well, a cream shadow. You need the tiniest, I can't remember if I've talked about this before, but you need the tiniest amount of this, and then it is bulletproof, and it's very, very potent. So this one is called Gig, if I remember correctly. It says it on here somewhere. I'm like 99% sure. Oh wait, no, it's on the end. That's right. Gig. Yeah. This is gonna, it's got a messy cap, but I'm gonna show you, you know what? I'm gonna swatch it next to this other color, because it's got this like kind of rose goldy feeling. But again, you need the tiniest amount of this, and then it like lasts all day. Oh my gosh, it's very similar to the other. It's actually really similar to that color I just swatched. That's really funny. So this is the Natasha Denona color, and this is Milk's Gig. Those are so similar. I did not realize that. That's so funny. But see how shiny it is? And it's like, that is the tiniest little bit of product that I got on my hand there. It is like, it's so shiny. And then I topped it with the shimmery topper from this. This is one of Auric is the brand. I can't get my words out. Auric is the brand. This is like a cream eyeshadow topper duo. So the bottom eyeshadow is this really pretty green that I have worn. I may have actually worn this shade this month. I think I did, actually. And then in the top is a pretty shimmery topper. So I'm just going to actually put this over Gig, because these toppers are really sheer and beautiful. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's going to show up because I'm in this like lighting and I can't, I just made it so much shinier. It creates this like wet look shine. It's shinier. I might not have put enough on, but it's so pretty, and it's so hard to tell in this lighting, but look how stunning those are. Okay, anyways, I had a really good time with those. And then I made a couple looks using my Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette this month. It's so pretty. Anyway, so the shades in this are here. So I did a really pretty pink look using primarily sort of this corner down here. Let me bring it down a little. This corner of the palette down here. And then the look I'm wearing right now is this palette, and I'm using primarily this little section up in here. I've got this color, which is called Abundance. I have this color all over my lid, and then on the inner part of my lid I have this color Energized right here, and then I used these mattes to sort of create the blend. Anyways, if you're not geeky about makeup like I am, this is gonna be like whatever, but it's so fun, and these colors are beautiful. Every time I get this out, I really enjoy it, and there's some really cool sort of duochrome shades in here. I definitely used Moon Magic. Yeah, I used Moon Magic in my pink look earlier. See, in the camera it looks blue almost, but it's a duochrome, so it's kind of like a pink, hot pink, kind of silver, hot pink, lavender kind of duochrome. I don't know. It's really pretty. This is such a gorgeous palette. Plus Rose Quartz. See previous was my first love in crystals, so that's kind of fun. Nail polish. I'm so excited to show you what I've been wearing. So I started off the month. I've shown this one before for sure. This is Aurora by Zoya. You guys know I'm a fan of Zoya polishes. But thanks to you all, I went down this whole, I'm wearing this color. I've shown this before too. This is Nail Churl. And this color is called, this is just an inexpensive drugstore polish called Hot Springs Hot Fire. Hot Springs Hot Fire. It's just a tangerine kind of orangey color. I wear this on my toes, or am wearing this on my toes currently actually. But y'all sent me down this like indie nail polish rabbit hole. So remember that Alice Clued Up game that I told you about? Yeah. So I wore this Holo Taco color. Somebody has been commenting on my stuff about Holo Taco for the longest time, and I finally got some. So this is a linear holographic polish. This is the pastel rainbow collection, of which I have almost all of them now, and it's called Coral Chaser. Coral Chaser. And this is so pretty. It kind of matches this sort of shade here. It's this kind of peachy pink color. Really, really beautiful. And the linear hollow in this is to die for, especially in the sunshine. It glows. It's so pretty. So no regrets there. I also picked up a couple of Mooncat polishes, and the first one that I wore, this one, zero regrets. This is called A Midsummer's Dream, and it is so beautiful, and I put a hollow taco topper on it, so I'm going to show you that. So this is Mooncat, A Midsummer's Dream. It's this kind of pink with a blue shift in it. I don't know if you can see. It is like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. There you go. You can hopefully see the flash. There we go. Oh, I got it. There's the blue. So you can see how it goes pink to like this blue purple kind of shade. So pretty. And then I upped the ante because I put this hollow taco, you guys, seriously. I put this hollow taco topper on it that is called Sonic Unicorn Skin. So this is Sonic Unicorn Skin. It looks like not much, but if you look, it's a hollow, not hollow, it's got a blue flaky, it's a flaky topper, and it's got like a blue flash to it. So this over top of A Midsummer's Dream, it just like amped up all of that. It amped up all of that flash. See? Oh my God, it was so pretty. I was obsessed. And it lasted forever on my nails. I was so pleased. I finally picked up a bottle of Seche Vite top coat, and Seche Vite is cruelty free, which I did not know. So that was really exciting. I looked that up and I was like, I'm buying it. So I bought it. Funny thing is, I got a recommendation from a friend of my eldest son's like 12 years ago for Seche Vite. I have never tried it, and I finally tried it, and it was wonderful. And then also from Mooncat, I wore this gorgeous shade in August called Mercury's Tears. So this is Mercury's Tear. Oh, it's looking so purple on camera. Okay, in real life, this is actually really quite... Can I hold it back here? Can you... Weird. Okay, so it's really pretty because it does have a purple shift to it, but this is actually a blue. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to have to like Google it. Google Mercury's Tears, because I don't know why. It's like this lighting is picking up just the purple so strongly, but it is really, oh my gosh, that's so trippy. It actually is kind of a blue with a green or purple flash to it. I don't know why it's showing up. It's so, look at how purple it is on camera. That is surreal. I'm looking at it in the bottle and it literally looks blue, and then I hold it up and it looks purple. Pardon me while I just geek out looking at my stuff on the camera. Okay, whatever. It's really pretty. Dang my word for it. And then right now, so this is the polish I'm wearing right now, and it is so fun. So I don't even know how to describe it. This came from, oh my God, whose fault is this? Polish Pickup is like a monthly indie polish thing. I didn't know about it. Probably wish I didn't know about it, but I bought 3 polishes from the August Polish Pickup. And this one is by Sassy Sauce, and it's called Wet Spot. So this is what it looks like in the bottle. Oh, it's coming up pretty true to life on the camera. I don't even know how to describe the way it sparkles and shimmers, but then on the hands, it's like pink, and then it's like, let's see if I can get it to, it's like pink, and then it's green, and kind of, it is the coolest shade. But it performs on the nails like you see it on the bottle. It's pretty neat. You probably already noticed it by now. But anyways, this is fun. So this is technically a September polish, but since I'm wearing it now, I'm talking about it now, but it's going in the September basket. And I'll talk about it again next month because I'm obsessed. It's really, really pretty. Is that it? Oh, one more thing. So a coworker gifted me this little Shiseido lipstick, which actually turned out to be really great on. I believe I wore this with the green eyeshadow look, which I can't remember where I wore that. Was it for 3 Fat Readers? I can't remember. Anyway, it's kind of a nudie, kind of brown toned pink. It's a matte polish, but it was really, or matte polish, it's a matte lipstick, but it's really comfortable, and it was really flattering on, so that was super fun. I got to wear that in August. Okay, I'm through all the makeup. We're good. We're moving on. Okay, next up is TV and movies. I watched almost nothing this month because I was very busy, but I did get a chance to finally finish Stranger Things 4, and I have to admit, like, I freaking loved it. It was amazing as the season goes, but for some reason, I had it in my head that it was the series finale, and it's not. So there's going to be one more season that is going to be the season finale, and that's going to be Stranger Things 5. Now I know, which is good, but I kept like I was like on the final episode, and I'm like waiting for everything to just kind of like wrap up. That's all I'll say. So it was a lot of fun to watch, and like the last episode in season 4 is like 2.5 hours long, so that was fun. I had to break it up into a couple viewing sessions, but it was really fun to watch. I may have mentioned this before, but I'm also kind of comfort watching Glee episodes occasionally. It's really fun to rewatch that show. It's a lot like, it's a musical show. So I enjoy listening to the music and also the plot lines and stuff. It's pretty fun. It feels like it should be more recent than it is, but it's actually kind of old now. I'm just like, how? I feel like it just feels like it wasn't that long ago that it was brand new, but it was. It was a long time ago. So it's been fun to kind of rewatch some of those episodes. All right, so food. I have two things to share, and they're both fruit. So I discovered a type of apple called Cosmic Crisp. I wish I could describe it. I will just say that Cosmic Crisp apples, if you can get your hands on them, are incredible. And the other fruit thing that I discovered this month for the first time and tried for the first time is golden or yellow kiwi. Have y'all had these? So I haven't had kiwi in the longest time. It's not that I dislike kiwi, it's that every time I get kiwi, it's so similar to the taste of strawberry in my mind that it doesn't feel different. But golden kiwi or yellow kiwi, it's so good. It is so good. And it tastes different than regular kiwi. It's sweet. It's delicious. It almost has I guess it doesn't have a honey taste, but I'm translating it in my mind as honey, but it's very sweet. It tastes like it looks. Like, it doesn't seem like I'm just eating a strawberry in a different texture and shape, which kiwis kind of do that to me, but golden kiwis or yellow kiwis don't. I'm real excited about it. I wish I had discovered them sooner. They're so good. And I was going to buy a big bag of them from Costco to try them. And then I'm like, well, what if I don't like them? So then I got a small container from the grocery store to try, and they're almost gone. And I'm like, I should have got the big bag from Costco. So I'm really all about the kiwis right now. Books. So books from August are pretty simple. There are two. The main book that I spent my time reading in August was Circe. So this was actually the Unicorn Fam Book Club book for July and August, and I was way behind because last month, so in July, a lot of the folks in the Unicorn Fam had already started on Circe, but I was actually still reading the rest of the All Souls trilogy by Deborah Harkness, the Discovery of Witches series. So I finished that near the end of July, so I didn't really even start this until August, and then finished it. It was really fun. It felt a lot more grown up than what I typically read, since I gravitate a lot towards middle grade and YA fiction, fantasy fiction, that kind of thing. This was definitely a step outside my usual genre. I honestly don't think I would have read this on my own. In fact, it showed up on the Unicorn Fan book list because it was heavily requested. Like, so when we were voting on our next book, I added it, but it won by like a landslide, and most of the folks, I think, really, really enjoyed this one. So I would definitely recommend Circe if you're looking for a good read. It felt a little bit long, and the action felt a little slow at times, but it was packed full of all of this Greek mythology stuff. If you're even remotely interested in or fascinated by Greek mythology, you'll probably really, really enjoy this. You follow Circe along in her story, but in the periphery, there's just all this other stuff that you hear about and that affects her story or is tangentially related to her story that was familiar from Greek mythology, and it was really cool to get this kind of personal look at it all. It was a really, really great novel, so I genuinely enjoyed it. She has another novel called Achilles something or other, Song of Achilles, I think it's called. I don't know if I'm going to read that one, but I really enjoyed Circe, so that was a really fun read. The next book was actually a gift from a friend, and I'm pretty sure this is middle grade. It probably says on here. This is a Disney Hyperion book. The author is Catherine Marsh, and the story is called The Door by the Staircase. And I didn't know what this was. My friend had just given it to me and said, this sounds like something you would like. So she gave it to me. I read it. It was really quick because, again, it's like a middle grade book, I would say. And it was so fun. I don't want to spoil it. Okay, I'm going to say this. I'm going to tell you one major thing that was a fun surprise for me. But if you plan to read this, maybe skip ahead. The fun surprise for me was that one of the main characters in this book turns out to be one of the biggest characters in this book, turns out to be Baba Yaga. And it was so fun. It was so fun because I didn't know what I was getting into. I just thought it was kind of a fun, magic-y sort of book. And then I discover that this main character is Baba Yaga, and it just completely changed the way that I approached the whole rest of the story in my mind. And it was so fun. It was fun. It would have never been something that I would have picked up for myself, but I genuinely enjoyed the read. So I would recommend this if you want. It'd probably be a good one to read with kids. In any case, spoilers aside, I really, really enjoyed the read. If you're curious about what book the Unicorn Fam is tackling next in book club, now I accidentally posted this on my community tab to the public, so you probably already know this. I usually post our book club pick. We always vote on them, and we we toggle between fiction book and nonfiction book. So we just finished Circe. So for the next couple of months at a minimum, we're going to be working through a nonfiction book. And the one that was voted on to win is Matt Oren's Psychic Witch. I was really glad this book won. I'm just starting it now. It's very exercise heavy. So I did say that we may run through this book longer than just through September, October. But Unicorn Fam, by the way, we are also going to have a bonus book in October that's fiction. So as an aside, but anyway, we are doing this book for the next couple of months and talking about it in the Facebook group and whatever. And I'm really excited this one because Matt Oren is one of the keynote speakers at Northwest Tarot Symposium, which I am going to obviously in October. So I'm very excited about that. So I'm hoping to get through a big chunk of this before then so that I have it in mind when I hear him speak. I don't know if he's speaking on any of the related topics, but I just think it would be fun to have finished it by then. So we'll see. That might be a little bit aggressive because, again, it's very, very exercise heavy. There are actually in this book, how many exercises? 93. There are 93 exercises. So my plan with book club and with the Unicorn Fam is just to kind of go through these and try everything maybe at least once and see where we end up. I think that his approach is going to recommend that you work with each exercise a lot longer than that, but I'm going to look at this as kind of like a sampler exercise to go through it, see what I think, play with some of the exercises, see if I get anything new from it. I'm really stoked. And the timing of this is great right after I launched Intuitive Tarot. Not intentional. I threw this up in a book list. It got voted on. It's all good, but it's kind of a cool synchronicity. Before I get into decks, it's time to talk random stuff. And I have a motley assortment of things that I want to show you guys that are they all bags? They might all be bags. I think they're all bags. Okay, well, I'm going to make it quick. I have two things from Peggy that I want to show off. The first is that she made us a new beach bag. Well, I guess pool bag. This is our pool bag. So she actually made this. It's a really nice padded tote. And she made a video. It's got our pool water bottle if you're hearing it clanking around. We use this every single night. We put all our pool stuff in it. And she actually also made a zip pouch. Looks like this. It's all padded, and this is what we put like our personal stuff, our personal items, like my phone or her wallet and keys, that kind of stuff. So when we're at the pool, it's kind of slip knotted onto our bag. That just lives in there, and we have our items in there that need to be found quickly and easily that are separate from everything else. But this is how we cart all of our stuff to the pool. We also have a couple of wet bags. I don't think I have them here. We have a couple of wet bags that live in here. Anyways, this has been amazing. It's like the perfect size for all of our stuff. It fits into the locker perfectly. It's been amazing. It's such a convenient item to have. Anyways, I've been really enjoying that. I will link up in the cards a link to her video where she shows you how to make that bag in case you're curious. And I'll try to remember to also link the one where she makes the smaller zip pouch that goes inside because, yeah, she has a sewing channel. Hi, hello. If you didn't know, Peggy now has a sewing channel and she is sharing videos on how to make all kinds of projects, lots of tips and tricks, and I've been enjoying the heck out of it just because I really enjoy listening to her talk. So it's been a lot of fun to listen to those, but I will link that. Go subscribe, check it out if you're interested, but I will definitely link the video for the bag. And this one is just more a confession than anything. I kind of confessed in the Supportive Tarot Facebook group already, but Peggy was working on a new batch of bags for the shop, and she was making single pocket wrap bags, which if you've never seen them, well, I'm about to show it. But anyways, she happened to make two in this particular design, and I stole one of them. But I had to, you'll understand. Look, so it's this adorable ladybug and bumblebee fabric, and then it's red on the inside. So this is how her single pocket wrap bags work. They hold your deck in this part, and then you've got this part that opens up so you can do a reading, and then the whole thing wraps up and it has a elastic that goes around the works. I love these so much. I tend to lean into the 2-pocket wrap bags the most because I use those to cart everything around, but every once in a while, especially if I'm just working with a single deck, I will use this for the week. And it's ladybugs. I had to. And fat shiny bumblebees. I like it. Anyways, so that was fun. I stole that. So pleased with myself. The other thing I got, this is not a Peggy thing. I got a bag that I'm very excited about, and it's called an Ita bag. I had to look this up because I can't remember where I stumbled on the term, but I have been talking on this channel for a while, like a while, about wanting to have something where I can display the pins that I have, particularly because I have some last unicorn pins, like some enamel pins, and I wanted to have them somewhere where I could look at them and enjoy them. Well, an Ita bag, I think it was popularized for conferences and stuff, but it's a bag that has a clear area, like a clear vinyl pouch thingy where you with a insert where you can stick your pins on it, and I'm just going to show you. So I got this Eat-A-Bag and I freaking love it. So I will link this down below. I'm not affiliated with them or anything. I bought this. I love this, but as you can see, so I'm going to get the reflect off of it. These are all my pins. Well, I think most of them. But my last unicorn, Amalthea, is there. Last unicorn. My Red Bull is on the other side. I have a butterfly, I think. Oh no, just those three. Just those three. And then a couple of the pins that I got from being from a book subscription box I used to be in. Some tarot related pins. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. And it's like a little mini backpack. So I tested this out when Peggy and I went to the gem show, the Crystal and Gem show, and it was perfect. Look at the inside. It's so great. So I will link this. I love the triple moon symbol on the top. Hopefully it's showing up in the camera. I can't tell. There we go. That symbol. I love that. So it feels kind of witchy and fun and neat, and it's very sturdy, and it's got, like I said, it's got this big pocket with littler pockets, even a zipper pocket in the back here. I don't think I put anything in the zipper pocket right now. Tons of pockets on the inside, and then it's also got this pocket in the back. The zipper is way smoother than I'm making it look. Everything's really, really sturdy feeling. Oh, yeah, I have like a face mask and some other little items in the back here, but it's got this big pocket in the back with another little pocket in there, and it also in the front part, I'll show you how the whole Eat-A-Bag concept works. I looked at a bunch of different Eat-A-Bags, and this is the one I ended up deciding on. The part in the front, you can just use this to hold your stuff, but it has this insert in it. See? And that's what your pins go on. So you just slide that in that pocket, and you just zip the works up, and you can display your pins, but they're also really protected. You're not going to lose anything. So you get to, I can wear this around. So this is going to be a really fun bag for me to use at Northwest Tarot Symposium to hold my decks, my notebook, anything else I want to carry around with me from class to class. So I'm pretty stoked. It's really comfortable. These straps are like padded and thick and really nice. I really love this. So I'm so excited. This was a really fun treat myself purchase from August, and I'm thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. All right, that brings us to decks. I worked with a ton of decks in August, but I want to talk through the ones that I used, each one for about a week, and talk about my thoughts. So the first one I used in August is the Penelope's Tarot. I fell in love so hard with this deck, and I just realized this is how I found out about the Eat-A-Bag thing, because this is by Sam West, who is the creator of the Rainbow Moon Tarot, which you guys know that I'm also like loving. This is her indie deck. So Rainbow Moon Tarot is mass market, and she also has the Macabre Tarot, which is mass market, and there's one other one, a Rockpool one. But anyway, this is her indie deck. Look at the pretty sides. This is what the backs look like. I had so much fun. So this is a more minimalist style deck, but it is so charming. I love this particular color palette. It's like pink and like this kind of turquoisey blue, and it's minimalist, but I freaking love it. I love reading with it. It feels like it has so much personality. I did not want to stop playing with it. And again, it's always a really good indicator for me about a deck if I just don't want to put it down, if I'm looking for reasons to use it, and I definitely did that with this deck. It is absolutely amazing. Like, I love it. It's so simple but so cute. It has a bit of that, like, look at that. It has a bit of that kawaii sort of feel to me, a little bit. But there's tons of personality, and I don't know what it is, but I really, really, really loved working with it. So that is the Penelope's Tarot. But on Sam West's site, I think she had an Eat-A-Bag that she designed, but it was all like, it has like a snake on it and a skull. It's a little bit more like, it's a different aesthetic. But I really like Samantha's art style. She's got a lot of that sort of creepy, cute, or creepy pastel-y kind of overlap, which is super neat. This one doesn't feel creepy to me though. This just feels pastel-y and pretty. I like this. I had a lot of fun with this, and I enjoy, this is the first time I've had a limited color palette deck. I have one or two black and white decks I like, but I think this is the first sort of limited color palette where it's just like a couple colors on the cards where I've really, really, really loved it. Like, I've wanted to like decks with limited color palettes, like the, I'm thinking of the Mesquite Tarot, the, Future Ancestor Tarot. Those are all decks that I think are beautiful, but they just don't hit me right. This one does though, and I love it, and I'm so pleased to have it. So I really enjoyed my week with this deck. And in fact, I didn't really work with an Oracle deck the week that I used this deck because I just wanted to use only this, like this and only this. It was so much fun. So this is now actually hanging on my favorites rack over there. The next week, I actually used these two decks. So this is the Unfolding Path Tarot, which came in for me in August. You're going to be hearing more about me. From me. You're going to be hearing more from me about this deck, but for now, It is really beautiful. It's diverse and it's modern, but it's got like people of different ages. It kind of messes with the genders in different cards, where like you'd normally see a very feminine card, you'll see a masculine card, or where you would see maybe a young person, you see an older person. I really, really love the way that this is done. I'm not fond necessarily of the box and that it didn't come with like a chunky guidebook and stuff, but I don't really need it with this deck, and I think the creator probably knew that. I just popped it into a bag, and now it lives in a bag, and it's been hanging on my favorites rack ever since. This is going to be for sure a workhorse deck for me. It's already played that way a couple of times. It's come out for some client readings, and I have really been enjoying this so much. I wasn't sure if I'd be fond of all the white space around the cards, but I really love it. It's a beautifully done deck. The cardstock is like, it's perfect. It doesn't feel, it feels like indie cardstock, if that makes any sense, but it's got lots of good bend to it. It shuffles really beautifully. I love it. So I actually paired this with the Song of the Grandmothers Oracle, and I apologize for the tease. It was a recent Kickstarter. I was sent a prototype. Let me grab it. This deck is fast becoming a favorite for me. I did not expect that. I expected to really like it and enjoy it and appreciate it, but it actually has kind of taken over in a way. I love its energy. I love that I get natural world energy, animals, herbs, plants, trees, pieces of nature. It just sort of hits all the right places for me. And I have to admit, I freaking love the haikus on here. They just give it a whole other layer. I've never had a deck that had that kind of thing going on. Actually, that's not true. Not haiku, but this is successful to me in the way that the Seasons of the Witch Oracle deck series is successful. The extra words, like the little bit of poetry or the extra words, I don't know how else to say it, but the extra words just give me more to work with. Again, this is the prototype, so the actual real version will look a little bit different as far as like it'll be different cardstock and whatever. But I just don't want to put it down. I just keep reaching for it. I really like it, and I have a feeling it's going to knock some other stuff out of my collection because I really like it a lot. I really like it a lot, and there's situations where I used to reach for other things that now this is what I'm reaching for. So I'm real pleased to have this, and so excited to see everybody else review it when it comes in as an indie deck from the Kickstarter. It's so good. Okay, so the next week I actually worked with, I was feeling the animal energy. I blame Song of the Grandmothers, but I worked with my copy of the Brady Tarot. This is the second copy of the Brady Tarot I've actually had. So my first copy was the first edition, and the cards were a little bit smaller, but they had white borders. I really prefer this copy. This is a deck I like to call my National Geographic animal deck because the animals are really raw and real. I also feel like I learn something from the guidebook every time I work with this deck. Like I learn a little bit more about animals or nature in general. And I really like that it feels kind of raw and earthy and really anchored, if that makes any sense. It doesn't shy away from shadow, which I really appreciate. A lot of fun working with this. I tried to pair it with the, I have such a story about this. I tried to pair it with the Animal Kin Oracle, which lost in a this or that video quite some time ago, but I ended up keeping it and tried to work with it again, and Animal Kin Oracle just didn't work out. It didn't work out with me and Animal Kin again. There was a time when I really loved that deck, but now there's just so many things that I love more, like the Song of the Grandmothers Oracle, that I started to work with it with this, and then I immediately put it in my to-go basket because I'm like, I'm going to trade you. You're not working out for me anymore. But I did instead pull out this deck, which pairs really well with the Brady Tarot, in my opinion, and that is the Earthbound Oracle by Skull Garden. This is such a great little pairing for the Brady Tarot, in my opinion, and it's just a really great, again, kind of raw feeling, naturey, earthy deck. And this is, I've never pulled this out and not enjoyed working with it. So it was really great to have it with the Brady Tarot. It really anchored the Brady Tarot. And because it has more space around the artwork, it also balanced the Brady Tarot, which can look quite busy when you pull the cards out. So this was a lot of fun, and I definitely got some good readings out of this pair. The next week, I actually worked with the Starseeker Tarot. This is a deck that it came into my collection at a time when I was kind of overwhelmed or had other things I was working with, and it ended up being really neglected. I really enjoy this deck, and so I really leaned into it in August. I also believe I used this for my Unicorn Fam channel member readings, and I do enjoy working with this deck so much. I love the take on the artwork. It's got a really gorgeous vibe to the artwork, and I don't really have anything else that feels quite like this. Oh, Oh, dropping cards. But I really do enjoy this deck. I had paired this with the Power of Surrender cards, which was a really, it seems like they're not artistically aligned, but energetically they worked really, really well together. I love this little deck. The Power of Surrender is such a wonderful, this would be a really lovely deck, and I have used it this way to read like at bedtime, but it basically is just all different things. Surrender to trust, surrender stress, surrender to your intuition, right? So it's a very simple deck. It's kind of like a circa 1998, 2005 kind of feeling to it. It does feel a little bit dated the way that it's designed. And I don't really pay too much attention to the artwork, if I'm being honest. I just like the messages. And as somebody who is constantly working to lean away from feeling like everything has to go according to plan and getting tense around that kind of thing, this is a really lovely deck for me to work with. And also I love the oceany backs. But that worked really well with Starseeker. Again, they don't artistically necessarily harmonize well, but they energetically harmonized very, very well. Okay, I have 3 more decks I want to talk about, and then we're going to wrap up our deck talk. The last combo I worked with, and this kind of crossed over between August and September, but I'm going to talk about it now because at the time I'm filming this, I finished my work with these. I worked with the Wisdom of Hafiz Oracle. So this is to circle back because this was a say yes to the deck purchase. So this was from the episode where Peggy and the Unicorn fam members helped me say yes to a deck. So Peggy picked the deck based on a short list that my channel members had created. So that was a lot of fun. I definitely want to do that again because it was kind of cool to like listen to everybody else's feedback about what they think I would like, and then to watch Peggy kind of pick from those, and it was a lot of fun. So Wisdom of Hafiz came in. This is such a great little deck. It's a US Games deck. It's in this beautiful box. It's like a standard tarot size. It is glossy. I do have one little beef, and I asked my friends who have this deck. They have the exact same issue. There is something about the gilding on this deck, and I don't know what it is because I've had so many gilded decks and I've never had this issue. I don't know what it is, but there's something about the gilding. Like it slides really beautifully. You see, it's not sticking on itself, but there's something about I can't get this out of my mouth. There's something about the gilding that when I go to shuffle this deck, like in a typical riffle shuffle, it clumps up as if the deck is unevenly cut. If you've ever hand trimmed a deck and it's not been quite even and you go to shuffle it, you know how it clumps like that? That's exactly what this feels like. But I've checked. The cards are even, but like I cannot. Look at, I don't know if you can tell how choppy. It's really hard to tell because the gilding is so shiny, but like it's a really choppy, unsatisfying. You can kind of see how much air is between. That's how it shuffles. That's how clumpy it is. And I can't do anything about it. And I was talking to like Danny about this, and I talked to Dawn about this. I can't figure out why. It's something about the gilding catching, I think Danny suggested, but it drives me crazy. The only way I can get a successful shuffle other than hand over hand with this deck is by corner shuffling, which I never do, but it's where I take the deck. See if I can show this. I take the deck, I split half out, and I flip it. How do I show this on camera? I'm not going to be able to. So I've got one half is upside down, one half is upside right, and I put it down on the table. See if I can do this. I put it down on the table like this, and I riffle the corners together, and then I smush the deck together. And when I do that, it works pretty well. I can get a pretty even, I just did it now. I can get a pretty even shuffle that way, but it drives me batty. So I'm kind of actually tempted to mod this deck to just sliver off the gilding. But that little quirk aside, this is such a great deck. It is so beautiful. The artwork's incredible. The keywords themselves have been wonderful to work with. They felt really expansive. They've hit right on the nose so well, and I'll show you what I paired it with because it worked so well. But more than that too, when you go into the guidebook, you get this beautiful full color image of the card. You get a little sort of kind of poetic message here that I believe is meant to be sort of a rendering of, is that right? Yeah, the rendering of the, of Hafiz's poetry, or it's meant to be word for word. I'm not entirely sure. It's some kind of translation. And then you get your message. And it's been so beautiful, and I've had such on-point readings with this, and I love an oracle deck that can give me a really good message on the card, like I get enough of it, and then I get all this really juicy, yummy stuff from the guidebook. I had such a good time. And this deck I paired this deck rather, with the Fantastical Creatures Tarot by Lisa Hunt. So this is the backs for the fantastical creatures. And this is what this deck looks like. It's really gorgeous. This is one that slipped under my radar for like a really, really long time. And it's so beautiful. Like, Lisa Hunt's art style is just gorgeous, but this is very transportive. I had so many really good, meaningful readings with this, and this on either side of the Hefis deck. I wouldn't have thought to pair them. I just paired them because I hadn't worked with either yet, and I really wanted to get some time in. But I enjoyed this deck so much. There's a production quality issue with this one too, though, which I should point out. For some reason, and I don't know why, US Games packaged this deck, or maybe just my copy. I don't know, maybe mine was a misprint version. I'm not sure. But the book is so much smaller than the little white book is so much smaller than the cards. And when I got this out of it was in a tuck box. When I got it out of the tuck box, the book was sitting in the center here. And what it did is, because you had this fat book here in the center, and I fixed a lot of the bow, but this deck came so severely bowed, like major, major curve this way. I've been slowly correcting it by only shuffling it this way, like riffling it this way, but not bridging it. So this way, in the reverse of the bow, and then just sliding the cards together instead of bridging them. And that's been slowly helping me to sort of bend it back the other way. Why would the little white book not be the same size as the cards? Because yeah, it just put all this pressure on the middle of the deck, and it was like shrink wrapped or whatever that way inside the box. Is not a good scene. So it has a bow. But this deck has been so much fun to work with. Each card features, I'm like fussing with the book, sorry, I'm looking away. Each card features a different mythical creature, and there's a little bit about that creature in the guidebook, so you're not just left wondering what that is. You know, you'll find out when you look at the little white book. It's a charming, really pretty, fun deck to work with. So I've really, really enjoyed this. This is definitely sticking around. I liked it a lot. There is a unicorn card. It's not my favorite version of a unicorn ever in life, but it stalked me like crazy, and there were very significant and important to me reasons why it was stalking me. So I feel like this deck and I just got along really, really well. It was giving me very clear messages. I was getting a lot of like potent, it's hard to describe when you work with a deck and you have these like potent repeating messages, or when you know it's like spanking you. It's like, oh, okay, this deck gets me. It's telling me what I really need to hear. This was a great reader. I have no complaints, and I was very, very nervous because this deck does swap. If you don't pay too much attention, you won't really notice, I don't think, but it does seem a little fiery in the swords and a little air-like in the wands, which is reverse of how I read the tarot, but it's not in your face in a way where you can't just, like, the meanings still seem to be what the meanings are. Like, there's no issue that way. But it's less in your face than some of the other elemental swap decks that I've seen. So this was a lot of fun to work with. I really enjoyed it. And, and I store the little white book on the other side now to also try to help hopefully correct the issue there with the bow. So anyway, so I worked with that. Okay, the last deck I'm going to mention, the last deck is more of an honorable mention, but I did work with it quite a bit in August, just on my own for... Ooh, I'm dropping nail polish. I worked with it just on my own for different types of reading for myself, and that is the Healing Waves Tarot. I don't show this one a lot on the channel because it's really, 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 really out of print. This was one of those decks that the creator, I got so excited when this deck came out. I got myself involved. I stuck my nose in business that, you know, I was just like, I need this deck to happen. I was so excited about it. And it's such a beautiful, soothing ocean deck, and I love it so much. But the creator was very clear they were only ever going to do one edition, which is the edition I'm holding, and it went out of print pretty quickly, and I don't think it's coming back. But it is gorgeous. It was painted with watercolor that had been activated with ocean seawater, which I think is great. It feels like it was made by somebody who truly loves the sea, loves the ocean. It's not a perfect deck, right? There are little cards or qualities here or there that I'm like, okay, that's not my favorite, but overall, this feels like exactly the kind of ocean deck I wanted, and it really, really fits the bill. So when I'm wanting to tap into that oceany energy, this is hands down the deck I reach for. Here's our Emperor card. It's just beautiful. It has a subtle rose petal finish to the stock. It's really unique. You have these crabs through the pentacles. You have jellyfish for the cups. You have seabirds for the swords. Look at the page on water. I love it so much. There's a really great axolotl in here. She's the queen of fire, I think. I always forget. Look at... That's so great. But I love that the pentacles are creatures with shells. You get these kind of lizardy. It's a very Rider-Waite-Smith clone-ish kind of deck. Look at the sun card. It's so great. I love it. That's a sunfish. It's fun. It's just so fun. But I like that the fire suit takes place out of the water, right? Like it makes sense that fire would be on the beach with torches. Here's our 10 of Earth. I love the mermaids that show up. Look at this Hermit card. The best. It's great. I love it. The lighthouse for the tower. Okay, I'm going to stop gushing. But anyway, I played with this in August and it was a lot of fun. And I really do genuinely love this deck. I'm so glad I have it. So that was a lot of fun to work with in August. That's it, y'all. That's all the stuff I have to show and tell this month. This is a lot of fun. I love doing this video. I call it my show and tell because that's what YouTube feels like a lot of the time for me, is like I just get to show and tell. And show and tell is so fun. Like look what I'm working with, look what I'm playing with, look what I'm enjoying. And it's just thanks for watching them because they're fun to do. And I'm glad you guys like them too. And thanks for hanging out with me. As always, an extra big thank you goes out to my channel members, the Unicorn fam. Thank you so much for supporting what I do here. It means a lot to everyone. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, clicking the thumbs up, hitting the bell, all the things, commenting, all the things that you do to engage here. It is what makes this so fun to do. And I know I say it every time. Maybe I'll eventually stop. We'll see. Thank you all so much, and may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye.